Welcome, guys. The Premier League weekend is over and we have lots to talk about, ranging from Chelsea's performance to Arsenal performance to Liverpool, Man City, Manchester United, amongst the other big teams. We're going to talk about the winners, losers, biggest disappointment, team of the week, and what our expectation for next weekend will be. Let's talk about the biggest story of the weekend. The biggest story for this weekend has to be Chelsea's new era. And this Chelsea's new era is under Xabi Alonso, with the side having a 3-2 win against Fulham. This was a derby, though the win may not be too convincing, but there are signs that this club is heading somewhere. You see the aura they played with, the intensity, a lot of things that were not in place as of last season are now in place. The sharpness in the attack. Chelsea can now boldly say they have a front three, they have a front row. You have Morgan Rogers, who scored yesterday. You have Joao Pedro, who scored yesterday as well. And you have the unstoppable Kopama, who scored and provided an assist yesterday. So Kopama, Morgan, and Joao Pedro are key to the new era begun by Xabi Alonso. And so far, so good. They've done well for the first weekend. Though there are certain places they still need to adjust from the goalie's position. Cohen is not yet there. Maybe the partnership with Acquire has not really clicked, but Cohen was not top level yesterday. Had an average game. Achapon, Acquire were good. Lavia, Rhys James didn't quite hold that midfield enough. And my thoughts regarding that was, Hato and Miles Gusto were meant to choke the midfield and help control the ball. I think that was the only aspect of the game where Malagusto and Hato didn't have a lot of bearing, so they were only giving up attacking options. But in terms of control of the ball, it was left for just Lavia and James. So I feel that has not really clicked yet, but there is still time for improvement. Like I said, this is just the first weekend, but there are signs that Chelsea will be victorious this season. The team of the weekend has to be Brighton. Now, I'm not talking basically because the result came out in favor of Brighton, a heavy win over Aston Villa. But looking at the intensity, the way they pressed, they had more hunger to even score. For a mid-level team, when you score 2 goals and you are okay with maintaining that win, at least I've got my 3 points in my first weekend, but there was still that hunger to score more. And as it stands now, they are topping the league. So Brighton is the team to watch. Can they continue in this form? Can they maintain European? Can they get to the European spot? Let's hope that this is not the state of initial career. Now, the biggest disappointment of the weekend. This has to be Manchester United, no doubt. Though they didn't sign much players, they have 3 basic midfielders they signed. The side that ended 3rd position last season, they have not lost any of those players. Aside Casemiro. And so that is why, to fill in the void of Casemiro, they have made a lot of signings in the midfield. Though it is still in the early days, we cannot totally say they have not matched up Casemiro's standard. But in the first game, where Mayu looked clueless and were completely lost in what they wanted to do, making 39 crosses and none of those crosses leading to any header that went to the post. Bruno Fernandes was not himself. Mboimo was not there. I think Maguire, who was trying to get a equalizer, was one of the chief people who made an error that led to go with newly promoted Hull City, smashing Manchester United 2-0 in the first half and maintaining their lead till the end of the game. They were positive from the Hull City side, but from the Manchester perspective, it is nowhere near the performance of a top team who is in the discourse of title contenders or the Big Six. So Mayu is the biggest disappointment of the weekend. Now let's talk basically about the player of the weekend. Checking down the games of the weekend, looking at Liverpool, Manchester United, Man City, Chelsea, Arsenal, all the other clubs. I think the talisman, the biggest player of the weekend, the best player of the weekend has to be Kopama, with no doubt. I'm not talking about because he gave an assist yesterday or he scored a goal. I'm particularly talking about his all-round game yesterday, from the first minute of the game down to when it was subbed out. He played like he had something to prove. Yeah. Is it his dancing, his body's movement? It looks sharp. Is it the true passes? Is it the dribbles? Is it the coming back to track back and to win the ball? Kopama got almost everything right. Sorry. everything right yesterday. He was there, got crosses, was not stingy, released the ball at the times it was meant to release, came back, track back. He did a lot of things. It was everywhere in yesterday's match. And I think this freedom that Xabi Alonso has given is going to unleash more. I've watched Kopama 2 seasons in his Chelsea days, and I think this is the best so far of his sharpness. And the absence of the World Cup is part of why Chelsea is going to really be happy in this season. And if fit Kopama is a better Chelsea. So Xabi Alonso has to make it possible to keep Kopama fit all season if he wants to be the title contenders conversation. Now, the big managerial decision of the weekend. It has to be Enzo Maresca putting Magui in the midfield position. A lot of persons question that, and I was one of those who was wondering. Maresca is hell of a coach who wants to gamble and loves taking a lot of credit. When it doesn't work, he gets criticized, and he has a way of answering those critics when he's doing his post-match conferences and all of that. So it quite worked for him because Magui came up with one of the goals and they won that game, a lucky win, a 2-1 victory against Bournemouth. Well, it wasn't going well initially, but the result is the result. Once you get the result, that's all that matters. And so it quite clicked for Enzo Maresca taking that gamble of Magui in the midfield, who later on ended up in scoring a goal. So that was a big managerial decision of the weekend. The biggest problem / expectation. So we're talking about the biggest problem for this weekend. The question is still wide open. With Manchester United losing 2-0 to Hull City, Liverpool drawing 2-2 to Newcastle, Manchester City struggling to win Bournemouth at the 90th minute with a 2-1 win, Chelsea not winning too convincingly against Fulham. This leaves us with a conversation of saying, who is that team that can actually compete with Arsenal? Who can push Arsenal? So these are the questions that we'll be asking. Well, what's your thought? Do you think it is too early to think that Arsenal are the sole owners of this EPL? Do you think other teams can actually push them down, not just escort them? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. For me, other teams are still building. If anything has to be in the title contender conversation, then every of these teams have to find their feet in this process of trying to understand the new season and the new club. At least their first 5 games, you try not to lose more than 1 and to try to win at least 4 games. Then, after the first 5 games, we know that the team is better, more prepared and together and know how they play in order to chase whatever they are chasing, their ambitions for the season, be it Champions League, be it EPL title, be it Conference League, be it Europa. So this first 5 weeks is going to help to understand which team is better placed for certain positions and certain trophies. So I remember, boys, cheers. Please do not forget to subscribe, like, and share. Thank you.